Another day, a new year, new you. I'm so happy that you made it. I'm so happy that you still here, that you are constantly at war in battles and you just keep winning. You just keep winning. You just keep digging and getting stronger every step of the way. I just love every bit of it. I want to congratulate you. I know this past year was not easy. I know there were some challenges. I know there were a few setbacks. There might even been a few minor hiccups. But not only did you survive them, you destroyed them. You showed your grit. You showed your resilience. You showed who you are. And you never stop fighting. I'm asking you to fight one more day. I'm asking you not to give up. I'm asking you to remember that this battle is not meant to be easy. It's meant to be challenged. It's meant to be pushed. I'm asking you to get help. 3 simple numbers, 988. Don't take a lot. Just 988. Talk to someone. Get some help. Make a decision that not only can you live with, but make a decision that everyone else can live knowing that they get to see your smile. They get to hear your laugh. They get to hear your funny jokes, your corny jokes. They get to see the best parts of you. So before you make a decision that we have to live with, make one that you can live with and dial 3 simple numbers, 988. And stay because tomorrow needs you. Now let's talk football.
Fight me.
What's going on, Pride Nation? I'm back. I'm back at it again. People, this has been the worst 3 weeks in a long time for me, man. First week, get COVID. Get out of COVID. Doing good, right? And not only do I get the flu, my children get the flu, the wife get the flu, and we all have the flu for 2 weeks, going all the way through Christmas. But then I got some good news, good people. I got some good news because I'm also going to be expecting my 3rd child. And so I was cool with that. I was cool with the good news coming in. I was cool with beating all the sickness and stuff because I'm like, hey, I got another one in the building. And I'm feeling good about it. Now, I'm going to cover a lot from the Lions game that they just had on Saturday. Okay? Some things you're going to agree with. Some things you're not going to agree with. Some things you're going to be like, dang, I didn't think he was going to go in like that. But I'm about to have some fun with it. I'm about to have some serious fun with it. So to the beautiful people in the building with me who's coming to join me on this journey, let me see who's in the building with me. We got my man Looney Tune in the building. Big T is in the building. We got my man, the Singles Dads Club, in the building. Says Luke should have used Brad Allen as a thumbnail. I thought about it. But then I realized I don't like putting poop all over my stuff. So, hey, what can I say? That stinking head ref was not at the pregame meeting Saturday. Hey, we got Barbarian Lion in the building. We got Black Spirit in the building. We got Motown Football in the building. Motor City Thanos is in the building. We got my man Southwest Lion 16 in the building. Says, hey, Luke, looks like the NFL is going to full heel accusing the Lion. Wait, well, we're going to get into it. We got my man Sweatbread in the building. We got my man Cam is in the building. We got my man Ed W in the building. We got congratulations from My man Single Dads Club, appreciate that. Hatter House is in the building. I'm ready for the phone lines already. Let's get deep today. I'm gonna definitely be putting them in there. I'm gonna definitely drop it in there so we got to discuss it. We got to talk about it because this is something different, in my opinion. And I wasn't expecting it to be like this, but what can I say? You know what I mean? What can I really say other than, it is what it is. It is what it is. I just don't. I'm gonna get into it. All right. Let me make sure I ain't miss nobody because I want to make sure that I'm accounting for all the people. You know what I'm saying? Thank you for the congratulations, Single Dads Club. Thank you, Southwest Lions, for the congratulations. Ricky, Jude is in there, is in the building. One Funky Lion fan is in the building. Old Timer Dave is in the building. That's our residential Packer fan who rocks with us, but I respect that, brother. Chrome is in the building. Makai Holt's in the building. My man Juan W is in the building. We got Nemesis Breaks in the building, and Lions Fan Express is in the building. Again, I'm finna get into this on so many levels. Okay, let me just say this off rip. I do not believe that the refs cost the Lions the game. I'll explain what I mean by that. I know that they definitely cost us points. I don't know if I say they cost us the game, per se. What I will say is this. This is probably the most proud I have ever been of a Lions team in a very long time for a number of different reasons. There was some good, bad, and ugly in this game. I can break that down for miles and miles away. But to the biggest elephant in the room, the megalodon of stuff, it was just a blown call and a mistake by the officials. And the insulting part is that instead of them saying, "Oh, we made a mistake, we just messed up," no biggie, right? They did what every major company does. They blame the user. They blame the user. They didn't go through and say, "Oh, yeah, we made a gaffe. This could have been handled a little bit better." No. What pissed me off more than that terrible call was the aftermath response and narratives that were being pushed out. That pissed me off more than anything else. But why I say it didn't cost us the game is because Dallas still had one timeout. All right. Right. They had one timeout with 23 seconds. And with the one timeout in 23 seconds, you really got to get that kicker to be close to a 57-yard field goal. And if the Lions kick the ball deep, which is what I would have expected them to do after, going for two, I would have expected them to start at their 25. So they got basically 75 yards to go for a touchdown, right? But if you look at a football field, all right, you're talking 25 yards to put you at the 50, 30, 40 yards puts you in field goal range. Okay? And with 23 seconds in the timeout, they could have gotten field goal range. It'd have been a long field goal, and they could have missed it. We'll never know. What I don't like is the aftermath. The narrative that it's the player's fault. The narrative that it's the coach's fault. And the fact that the NFL will bring their asses out here, and instead of saying we made a mistake, they blame the Lions. They put this on the user. It's the Lions' fault. That's whose fault it is. It's not our guy's fault. No. Yeah, I know we took him off. That crew off for the playoff games. I know we did that. But guess what? This is your fault. You were trying to be deceptive. You were trying to be slick. And not only did you confuse the ref You confused everybody else. And this is the sad part about what pisses me off about this. I probably shouldn't be so upset about it, but this is what pisses me off. Isn't that what exactly football is? Is creating deception? When you create routes in certain formations and move people around in motion, aren't you creating deception? Aren't you sitting up there trying to confuse the person on the other side, trying to stop what you're doing? Isn't that the whole thing? See, the NFL don't want to talk about what was said on the field. 70 reported, not 68. 70 reported. And to the people who want to say, well, it was an illegal formation, yeah, if 68 didn't report. But I don't think he went over there to ask that man about his gardening tips. I don't think he went over there to ask him about his retirement plan. And for them to blame the Lions for this is their problem. They did this. The gamemanship. So you know what I did? I just wanted to look at a few examples. Not a lot, just a few. And let me slow this down because I really want to see this. First thing is they said is that they basically said that how they worded it. They basically said that, let me make sure I make this big. Hold on. I gotta make sure I make this big because I want people to see. Everybody has seen this 100 times to nauseum. But I just want to make it see. He says number 68, who ended up going down the field and touching the pass, did not report. Therefore, he is an ineligible touch, a pass that goes beyond the line, which makes it a foul. So the issue is number 70 did not report. Number 68, number 70 did report. Number 68 did not, is what he said. Okay. All right. Now, here's my problem with this. Let me move this thing along. All right. I want people to understand something as they watching this. And I put this in slow-mo. We know that they went up, right? I want y'all, let me see if I can make this big. Hold on, let me see. Let me see if I can make this big. I can't. I want y'all to watch his head. I want y'all to look at the arm of Decker who's pointing to his chest. Watch his head. Let me go back. What is he nodding to? He's nodding. Look at the rim of his hat. All right. So he's acknowledging that 68 is reported. The second part of this video I want you to focus on is where number 70 is at. A lot of people have talked about why is 70 going over there? Why is 58 over there? Why not just send 68? Because this is what people do. They want the defense to be as confused as possible on who is talking to who about what. That's what they want you to do. But why would this man nod his head if he didn't get the message? Here's the next question. The clock is stopped. Everything is stopped. Why not stop here and ask it? Which brings me to my next question. You've been announcing all day that 70 is reported in as eligible. This is what I was told from people who was in the stadium. But this one time, you didn't announce it to the stadium. And your excuse was because it was loud. Okay? Now, he says 70 reported eligible. But he never even saw fucking 70. As you can see, he talked over there to Decker and Sewell. 70 comes running up. He's running off. He doesn't even acknowledge them. Look, he never looks back and acknowledges them. Never once. He goes over to the defense. He says what he says and he made a mistake. Now, this right here is what blows my mind. Because I got to go back to what the NFL has said. Let me get down to their remarks. Per a source with knowledge of the situation, the NFL does not plan to change the procedure for players reporting as eligible. The league views the situation as an effort by the Lions to engage in deception and gamesmanship that backfired. Oh, so now what we're doing is we blame the victim. So when grown up is inappropriate with child, it's the child fault. They shouldn't be so cute. When female is at home and she's dressed a certain way and something happens to her, it's her fault, right? We're victim shaming. It's not our product, it's you. That's what we're doing. That's what they're telling us to accept. They're telling us to accept the reality that it's not their fault, it's your fault. You're the problem. You're the one that did this. Ignore the fault of that. Forget the fact that people already think that you rigged. Forget the fact that people already think that it's scripted. Forget the fact that people already think that you got Vegas and everybody else's hands in the mix. Forget all that. This is your fault. When I go out and I buy a certain type of electric vehicle that's supposed to drive its damn self and it drives me off the cliff, it's not my car's fault. It's my fault that I died because I should have known that I should control the car, not the feature that you put on there. That's my fault. I get it now. It's my fault. To which I say to the NFL, F you. Because you know what's funny? I'm finna have a little fun with y'all fuckery. And that's the reality of it. I'm not monetized, so I can cuss. And this ain't the Christian network. So if you ain't ready for that, it just is what it is. I'm sorry. Okay? Let's talk about this quote-unquote gamesmanship that they speak of. Let's talk about it. Let's go to my first example. Do anybody remember this? Anybody remember this right here? Let me go on all the way back. Hold on. Anybody remember this play? Let's take a gander. We're talking gamesmanship. We're talking about deception. You were trying to be deceptive and it backfired. Right? This ain't deception. This ain't deception at all, huh? Acting like you changing up the play, calling this, and then tossing it. That ain't deception. Oh, wait, this is a great play. This is a great play. This ain't deception. Huh? Now, I may be wrong about this, but I don't think quarterbacks got a report as being eligible as a receiver. But if we playing this game, why they don't? Because guess what? You can throw the ball to the quarterback every freaking time. But ain't this deception? Ain't this gamesmanship? Here, let's give a few more examples. I mean, it's not even just on the NFL level. It's not even on the NFL level. This is not even the little league level. This is on the little league level. He coming out like he hurt. Another guy coming in. He gets to the sideline like he really over here hurting. Look at this. By them subbing in, that's 11 on the field. He stands there. Ain't that gamesmanship? I call that a damn good play. That's a damn good play. Let's go over to this one. Since we're talking about deception and gamesmanship, look at this one right here. Ball gets snapped to the little kid. He acting like he got the wrong ball. Everything, and he's off to the races. You know who didn't get caught up in the sauce? The goddamn referee. You see her running because she didn't get caught in the sauce. She didn't get confused. We take all the blame off the referee who is quote unquote confused. But look, even on the little league, the referee wasn't confused. Gamesmanship, deception. You would have thought this was the damn scene from The Lion King 2. Deception, disgrace. What the hell is this? What is this? Here's another play. We're only talking about deception, right? Come on, the kicker can't throw the ball. This is what your whole job is. Seriously. And it pisses me off because they're trying to put the blame away from them. But let that had to happen to the New England Patriots. Or let's say it flipped it. Let's say that the same play was called and it was a team that they really wanted to win, like the Kansas City Chiefs. And it wouldn't have been a problem. They're creating narratives because as soon as this thing ended, you had a few people who started pushing the narrative, well, this is really the fault of them. But people like Rex Ryan say, fuck, I'll let Rex Ryan tell it.
From your perspective, do you think Brad Allen made the right call in this position?
No, 100%. He absolutely missed it. 100% he missed it. And would we please stop blaming the players? The players did exactly what they were supposed to do. Every one of them, right from Jared Goff going over and telling Decker, go report. He went right over there and reported with that nod of the official. I think the official assumed 70 was because he was reporting all day. That's a plan, by the way. But
and I want y'all to understand something about what he said. He said number 70 had been reporting all day, and he assumed. Everybody named Mama can tell he assumed that. And it's not just that. It's because that's what he said. He said in his pool report that number 70 had been reporting all day. So you assumed it was 70, but you never talked to 70. The video showed that you never talked to 70. Never. You never even acknowledged 70. The person directly in your face that you nodded to was 68. I can even understand if he had said, I thought he said 58. Not 68, but 58. I can understand that being a mistake. I really could. I'd be like, yeah, I can see it. But 70? That's like me confusing 69 and 100. There's no way we're going to confuse these two numbers. 6'8", 5'8", I can see it. 58, 68, I can understand it. But not 68 and 70. There's no way. There's no way. They both got different heights, different body builds, everything. One tatted up. Like, seriously. And the only thing that I'm trying to understand is how everybody could just want to act like it's no big deal. But now I got to go and break down the game. Because there was some good in there. And I was proud of this game. But I'm starting the good off with the most surprising part of the whole game, and that's Aiden Hutchinson. When y'all sit here and think that I just hate Aiden Hutchinson because he goes to Michigan, I want you to understand I expect what I saw on Saturday. I expect that. I don't want to hear, ain't a single person, not a single person, not Woodward Sports, not nobody on this damn YouTube, nobody in the media. I ain't see a single person talk about how many pressures Aiden Hutchinson had from that game. They talked about the 5 tackles, the tackles for a loss, and the 3 sacks. And the only time I hear about pressures is when that man not performing or playing up to a second overall pick. Not a single person. I didn't get not one message about, you see how many pressures he get? You should have saw how many pressures he got. Not a single one. Because he showed up. And he showed up in a big game, at big times, in big moments. When you had to have a play, he showed up. That's what I expect to see out of a guy taking second overall. I don't give a damn if he went to Michigan, Ohio State, or Notre Dame. I can care less. When you get on this field, perform. The same way I've been telling people I don't care about positional value. Everybody and their mama had a cow because we took a running back 12th overall. I haven't seen a single person complain about it because he's performing. That's the stuff I want to see. That's what I expect to have. I love that. That's what this game is about. That's what I want to hear. I don't want to hear about pressures. He got one game. He need one sack to get over his rookie sack total. But in this game, when we had to have it, he showed up. And I respect him. I gave him my MVP of the game. Because he acted a fool. He actually used a counter move. What do you know? He got one. This is what we expect or should expect as fans. Stop this goddamn pressure talk. Because here's a news flash for you. When we go to the ugly, Derek Barnes gets credited with a damn pressure on that 92-yard touchdown pass. How did that make you feel? I don't hear you hyping up his pressures. Which, by the way, as much as I respect and like Derek Barnes, he did play better after that. But, bruh, come on. You get a free, clean shot to the quarterback with his body pinned up against other people and you still missed? It's so disgusting that I can't even give it an ugly. It's just disgusting. Do you know what it means for a linebacker or anybody to have a free, clean shot to the quarterback? And you missed it? If you get that sack, you get that safety. You're talking about the score being 5-0 with us getting the ball back with a chance to score to make it 12. And we missed the opportunity. Cam Sutton, I told y'all, he can't cover deep balls. I guess he can't cover slants neither. But the defense balled out for the most part. And here's the scary part, people. They did that with Noah Lean McNeil. They did that with no Chauncey Gardner-Johnson Jr. They did that. Look at who wasn't out there. James Houston wasn't out there. Everybody wanted to fire Aaron Glenn. And I kept telling you, it's poor player execution and lack of talent. And before we go down this road, that is not about a lack of talent, spare me. I don't even know how Valdor failed. Because guess what? If you was going to fall, you might as well fall grabbing clothes and everything else with the other guy. Because even if you get that penalty, it still ain't going to be as worse as you giving it the touchdown. It's just not there. I'm going to put this thing in the link in there, so if you want to jump in and talk your talk, you can talk. But it's just not there. That was the ugliest. Outside of that one play, the other ugly part of the game that I'm going to have to give it is Jared Goff. I like what he did down the stretch because they played soft defense. He ate it up. I was happy about that. Okay? However, that interception at the end of the game is all on him. That ball was slow. There was no power behind it. And y'all keep thinking he's going to play for $45 million a year. Okay, keep playing. Keep playing with yourself lying. Keep playing. He did get a little push off one Funky Lion fan. I'll give him that. It was a little bit of a push off, but it wasn't enough for you to fall over. Ed W says, my gripe with AG is he only calls a game when he's about to get fired. When was he about to get fired? He was never about to get fired. He wasn't about to lose his job. That was never going to happen. Dallas Slappies point out that the missed call with Ada Hutchinson trip but there were 5 or 6 calls which went against the Lions to only one against the Cowboys. I mean, they missed a blatant pass interference call that happened on Amon-Ra St. Brown. They had another call where they got home on the quarterback, and it was a helmet-to-helmet hit. They ain't called that one either, so I don't want to hear about the missed calls. I want to hear about the ones who didn't do it right. Jared Goff was bad. I'm sorry. Anybody who argues against that is full of crap. He was bad. And I don't even care about the numbers. Scratch the numbers. I've watched them passes be like, why? I would give credit to the first interception as just being the defensive player making a really good play. But even on that pass, I'm like, okay, cool. And even when the Dallas Cowboys head coach was so stupid enough to throw the ball 3 times, we should have capitalized on it. Y'all, we didn't. The defense got a forced fumble and an interception. We got 0 points off of that. 0 points. We got 0 points on 2 turnovers. And yes, I think the play calling by Ben Johnson is vanilla. Because they put a stat up on the screen, and it really bothered me when I saw this particular stat or graph, I should say. Okay. When I saw that, I was like, okay, this can't be right. Here's what it said. When Jahmyr Gibbs comes in the game, that's almost a tell. When David Montgomery is on the field, they only pass about 47% of the times, but when Jahmyr Gibbs is on the field, they pass 65% of the time. And every time they tried to run with Jahmyr Gibbs, it was straight to the inside. And I'm just thinking, where were the stretch plays? Where were the toss plays? Where was that at? Where were the plays to get him out there in the space? Now, the few little passing plays that you threw to him, because the catching on him ain't been solid. It ain't been solid. But where were the stretch plays? Then you put in Montgomery and then you run a stretch play. Why? Why? And I'm still proud of this team. Because even with those mental mistakes, it was self-inflicted wounds that resulted in that. It wasn't like they was doing it to us. We did it to ourselves in that regard. But even I know that when he comes in, it's like a theoretic situation. We're probably passing. But 67% of the time you pass with him in the game? Come on. Yeah. I'm telling you right now, Ben Johnson, if he get a head coach position this year, he better take it. Because it's people starting to get hip to what he's doing. Just putting it out there. AG defense kept his Lions in the game. AJ has been great the last few weeks, making schematic changes with increased blitzing. He been blitzing. It just wasn't getting home. Let me bring in my first guest, Motor City Thanos. What up, though?
What up, man?
Long time no see. Happy New Year, brother.
Yeah, long time. Happy New Year to you as well.
What you want to talk about?
I'm gonna tell you. I want to talk about a couple things, but you pretty much hit home on most of them. I'm actually more pissed about something else than I am that call at the end. I'm actually way more pissed that Derek Barnes missed that sack than I am the call at the end, because, like you brought up, that can be pretty much a point swing in the game.
Yep.
If you get that sack, it's a safety. Then we get the ball back, and that can possibly turn into an extra 7 on top of the safety.
Yep. So and plus we already had 3, so that's 12 points.
Right. Plus we already had 3. Worst case scenario, maybe we at least get down the field and get a field goal. So that's still 3. So that's an extra 5 points on top of the 3 we had. And like that, and then like when you watch the play happen, you like you said, you have a straight beeline for the quarterback that at worst took 2 steps from the moment he hiked the ball, and you whiff him so hard that you go flying past him. I don't understand how you missed that. Like, this is probably an overreaction to most people. I promise you, Luke. After seeing that play, I was so pissed. I was ready to cut him.
No, I mean, no, because you in these types of moments, here's the scary part. Taking the L in that game means that after you win your one playoff game at home, you got to go on the road. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I can care less about us having to go on the road. I ain't gonna lie to you. You know why? Because at this point, you're gonna have to win either way it go. So just win.
Most definitely.
You know.
Most
but that
definitely.
play did piss me off.
But I was like highly pissed because it's like, okay, when you run through the line of scrimmage, it's like it opened up for you like the Red Sea. And you ran straight through there, straight at Dak. And it's like, once you got to Dak, I forget which one of those movies, The Lord of the Rings or whatever movie it was, or Harry Potter, when they put on that little invisible cloak. And like, it's like you threw that little, like Dak threw the invisible cloak over him, and then for that little 2 seconds, you just forgot where he was and whiffed him. It's like, I don't understand how you missed that. So I was pissed about that. The other thing I was ticked off about this game is, okay, I give Jared Goff props for being consistent for the most part, but where he ticks me off is this noodle arm passes he be doing. Okay, how many times you gonna miss your wide receiver? I mind you, I know you said you probably have. I've never played organized football in my life. I am just a fan, 100%. But even I know that when you're throwing to a wide receiver that's cutting to the sideline, you have to lead the wide receiver on most throws. Like you can't throw the ball and they're cutting behind him. I mean, throw the ball and the ball's cutting behind him. They're putting it in position for the defender that's trailing him to get the interception, because you're throwing the ball behind him. So you need if the pass can't be spot on, it needs to be up here to where I'm catching it or nobody's catching it. You can't throw the ball and then the ball's behind me. So now I'm twisting my body this way while I'm trying to run at the same time. But yeah, you look at that play, man, he straight whiffs it. It's like, you get up in there, you're right on him. How do you run past? I'm telling you, Luke, man, that dude will not be getting on the plane going back to Detroit. You take the Greyhound. Get on the Greyhound bus.
And I think what's crazy about it is, and this is one of the things that I have pointed out about Aaron Glenn the whole entire time, and why I defended Aaron Glenn, is I said we have a lack of talent in key positions. That's just the facts. You know what I'm saying? And then 2, I said there was just poor execution. He has been dialing these damn blitzes up all year, and they just doing stuff like this.
Yeah. And that's why I told my father, I said, in that situation, to be honest with you, if we had an idea that Derek Barnes was going to whiff that so hard, I'd rather Alex Anzalone have been the one they sent on the blitz. Because as much as we talk about Anzalone, he's been pretty consistent this year, and I'm almost sure he would have got that sack. Especially the way he exploded through the offensive line or the line of scrimmage on blitzes sometimes. I'm almost sure Alex Anzalone would have got that, because it don't make no sense for you to whiff that. And as far as the call at the end of the game goes, like it's mind-boggling, the excuses that people are coming up with. And somebody put it in the chat, because I was gonna bring that up when I got in here. It's insane that you're gonna like try to shift the blame to something else. Oh yeah, well, what about this call they didn't call right here where Aiden Hutchinson was tripping somebody? I'm like, okay. So the very first time I read that, I'm like, my mind immediately shifted. Like, oh, okay. Well, what about when that DB was hugging Amon-Ra St. Brown and he couldn't go to the ball?
Yeah. Or how about some of the other calls that was missed early on? Like they do what they're going to do. I get it. But the problem is that in doing so, what you do is you are eliminating the ability to say, you know what, let's talk about this objectively, not subjectively. And it is what it is.
Right. And then you got the people on TV, like that one lady, you played the clip with Rex Ryan. I think she was with Rex Ryan.
Yep.
She said, well, well, why did the other guys walk up with Taylor Decker? Why didn't Taylor Decker walk up there by himself? I'm like, you can't be that dumb. Like, you can't be that dumb. Clearly, it's for deception. Like, that's a part of the game.
It's part of the game.
That's
So
a part of the game. Clearly, it's for deception. That it don't take rocket science to figure that out. Again, I've never played football in my life, and even I know that. That's to deceive the defense. All right, we want you guys to have to choose which one of these 3 players is going to be eligible before the referee tells you.
Like, and here's the other part of it. The referee going to tell you who's eligible, but guess what? Now you got to be wondering, dang, it was 3 people over there. Was that really the case? Ed, I see you in the back. Don't go nowhere. You up next, brother. You know, they're going to be like, okay, dang, was that the case? The reality is this game just showed me that everybody that I talked to thought that Dallas was going to blow us out the water. They were like, oh, they putting up 45. And I'm like, yeah, on bad teams. We're not a bad team.
I'm not going to lie to you. I didn't think that. I was worried about that being a possibility. But what I figured was that's only because of how inconsistent we can be at times defensively. So, but I figure if we played our best ball, then hands down, we can go toe-to-toe with Dallas. And for all means, Buffalo gave us the blueprint to beating Dallas. Like, and that's the issue I took with Ben Johnson's play calling at times, the way he was running the ball. And then, like, I can't remember who brought it up. Well, I think it was Keyshawn. It might have been Shannon Sharp that brought it up when he said you don't want the defensive lineman running across your face. I think is what he mentioned. And he said it just like how we saw it. That's how Buffalo ran the ball. They didn't run that. They ran the ball right down Dallas' throat. And that's what I think that Ben Johnson should have been doing more of that versus trying to do those little screens because they never work. Like
the problem, the bigger issue wasn't the screen. The bigger issues was we wasn't blocking right. Sam Laporta looked at absolutely horrible blocking yesterday. Graham Glasgow got owned all damn day because he couldn't block. My issue was once you saw that you was having problems with all them trap plays and stuff like that, just line up and run.
Yeah,
man on man,
right up the gut.
Put somebody in their face, and that's what they did. That's when you started seeing Montgomery get yards and stuff because they just like, look, the guy in front of you, get him out the way, right?
Right.
So it is what it is. Let me bring in my next guest, Motor City Thanos. If you want to hang out in the back, man, you can. I'll bring you back in.
All right, bro.
All right. My man Ed W is in the building. What up, though, Ed?
What up, though, Lou?
What's going on, man? What you got for me?
Oh, man, there's so many ways we can go with this.
Okay.
First of all, I'm going to start off with a congratulations for bringing in a bigger pride.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. So I'm going to speak my piece. First of all, I want to start off with the one bad that out of everything, and we're going to come back to it, was when the ref called out to the stadium number 70. Because he did call it, he went and told them, he called it out in the stadium. But to me, Dan, everybody should have just stopped. Hell no, not gonna happen. But beyond,
see, I heard different. I heard that he was saying number 70 was eligible throughout the game, but on that particular play, he did not announce it to the stadium. And then he himself said that he did not announce it to the stadium because it was so loud. That's what he said.
Okay. Well, because the way, so I'm gonna go underneath what you call it, media foolery, because I've seen it in other clips where it was announced 70. Maybe they used a previous clip to put that in there. Now back on the bandwagon, I'm tired of this, man. Tired of 10 years of every other year or every year, bad call. Sheila, from what I heard earlier from another person, is she on her way up to talk to Goodell about this, and I love that. I love the fact that we're about to start standing up for ourselves, because once a person is bullied enough, if you don't stand your own ground, it's just gonna keep happening, and we can't keep doing this. Good. Question for you, Luke? If you might know, how can we get Goodell up out of there? Is it a corporate thing? Is it the owners got to vote him out?
The owners got to vote on it, but they can't. They gave him a contract. His contract is locked solid. He's done a lot of things to help get the NFL money. But Goodell is not the problem, right? Like, the problem is not Goodell. And as much as everybody like to boo him and hate him, he's not the problem with what's going on in these games. It's just officiating. See, the human element of some of these officials is what's coming out. I wouldn't be surprised if later on down the road we find out he was gambling. because I remember having this same feeling watching the Pistons go against the Lakers, and I'm like, my mans keep calling all kind of stuff against us that's not happening. And we find out years later that, yep, he was gambling, and that's what ended up costing us that championship against the Lakers. And so and yes, did the NBA go and change that? No, it is what it is. It's in the books. It's too late. And so my thing is this. I don't want to get caught up in let's get rid of Goodell. That's not the problem. What we need to do is we need to be able to have an honest conversation and say, you know what? Referees are going to make mistakes, but you have technology. You have all the cameras in the world. These cameras can tell you if a person's got an ingrown hair on their face. These cameras can show you if they got a boil on their butt. All I'm saying is use the technology to get it right. Because what you can do is this. You got those people mic'd up. Leave them mic'd up. Leave them mic'd up. Let the recordings come from them. And that way, when they go back and say, oh, well, I didn't know. Because now he's going to have to stop, slow himself down, and make sure he heard what he heard right. He didn't do his job right because he assumed. And that's the problem here. But according to the NFL, it's our fault for trying to be deceptive. And the reality is that's the whole entire process of the NFL. That is it. Deception.
Okay, I'm with you on that part. So we got to go two ways then. According to how you're saying it, the two plays earlier, that defensive pass interference, so we should be able to challenge that. If we're
I don't know. I don't want them to be able to challenge everything on penalty because then the game gonna be forever, right? But the defensive holding call was right.
Okay, but I'm talking about the one. No, I'm talking about the defensive pass interference on Amaran.
Oh yeah, they didn't call it; they just missed it.
Right. So we should be able to throw a flag on that.
Yeah, but then here's the problem: you got to think, you got to look at it from Pandora's box. If I can throw a flag on all that stuff, I'm gonna throw a flag on everything because guess what? At the very least, it slows the game down enough for me to go and get something set up or change something or make some adjustments. So I don't know if I agree with that or not, but I'm not gonna say I'm totally against it if they can do it in a way that makes sense. I just can't think of a way that would make sense where you don't have a coach that's like on the hot seat who just challenging every damn call. Oh, you say he did what? Oh, he shoestring challenge. We're gonna be all day watching these games.
I understand, but we're at a point now where we either have to jump all in or these things are going to consistently happen.
Well, this is one of the reasons why I always argue to you guys as fans, request that your team take the referees out of the game by putting the points up, by getting the things put out the way, so that way when these things come, it don't happen.
I'm surprised. Man, I yelled at Dan Campbell to just go ahead and get them points so much.
See, there's another point that I was going to bring up too, and people, I know people ain't gonna like this. I am perfectly fine with Dan Campbell's decision to go for the 2-point conversion after we didn't get it. I'm perfectly fine with Dan Campbell's decision to go for it on 4th down. Both those 4th downs they're deep in their territory. Like I ain't trying to be funny. But they're deep in their territory. You're going to make them drive, and it's like, okay, cool.
But early,
I get it. You can get those field goals, right? But if you get those field goals, hypothetically, let's say that he took the field goals, that's 9 points. They still had a blunder of themselves too. They had an interception in the red zone that went to iffy. What if that don't happen, right? They had another fumble that went up the back of the end zone. What if that don't happen? That's 14 points off the board for them too. So when you start doing the ifs, whiffs, and fifths, and shouldas, and wouldas, and couldas, you got to do it on both sides.
Yeah, but that's why you take the guaranteed points.
Yeah, but the thing is this: you don't win games with field goals like that. You got to get into the end zone, and I understand that every point counts. I do. I understand that every point counts, but the reality is this: a lot of things could have went a different way. I can only go by the decision that he made at the time. If he don't get it, they had to drive how many yards to go down there? Almost like what, 90?
I'm with that.
We should have had a safety on that play.
Definitely, we definitely got our whips. But if you took those points early, you definitely put more pressure. And if he to make him want to be more pass happy, and if he still could have got that interception, because we were definitely on his head, on Dak's head for most of that game.
Right. And this is the thing I always try to tell people. And I said, maybe I'm crazy, but I got a lot of friends, right? I have never heard a Golden State Warrior fan say, I wish Golden State Warriors stopped shooting threes. I've never heard it. You live by that three, you die by it. I love the fact that we understand that we got 4 downs, so go for it. When he went for that fake punt, if he don't get it, y'all would have killed him. But we got it, so everybody's happy. Everybody's mouth is watered up, and I get it. But at the end of the day, I love that level of aggression because guess what it does? It plays with the psyche of your opponent. You saw what Dallas did the next time. You started getting better punt returns because they were too concerned about you calling another freaking fake.
Mm-hmm.
So everything is set up like that.
For our advantage, but it also has times where it's too aggressive.
I get it. There are situations where it can be too aggressive, but that's part of the makeup. And you got to learn to live with both of them. You just have to, in my opinion.
And I am living with it. This which brings us back to the whole at the end here. Okay, we didn't get it the first time. We didn't get it the second time. That third time, the morale is all screwed up. He just needed to have a calmer head and just take that. Hey, we got all. I guess what he thought because we went up 5, we can get it. At that time,
no. What it is this. You got okay. That's another point I want to bring up, and you like killing all my points today, but I got it.
All right.
I see you in the back, John, but I got it. Ed. I see what you're saying. Here's my thing. Here's why I'm okay with him still going for the 2, even after the fact. At that point, you've already been cheated out of the points, right? No matter what happens, you're going to get nothing better. I mean, nothing worse than the 3rd seed, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're going to get nothing. You guaranteed the 3rd spot. All right, cool. You're going to overtime, and Jared Goff gets hurt. Now what?
Well, that's always a possibility in every game we've played.
Right, but we only talking about this game, right? In this game right here, he had a chance to go out, finish the game out by putting up the 2 points and telling his defense, we need you to hold so that they don't get no things, like no points. And the defense just got to keep them out of field goal range, right? Mm-hmm. If the defense does that, right, they win the game. But if you're going to overtime, why am I going to go into overtime and risk injuries to key players when I've already seen this fuckery just happen? I just seen how they just like to just act like this is a mistake, right? What am I going to overtime for? To do what? And here's the other part. Right. Ain't no guarantee that you're going to go to overtime because they still had 23 seconds in the timeout. And unfortunately, not one of our cornerbacks can cover CeeDee Lamb. Even though CeeDee Lamb only had 135 yards receiving because one of them was 92 yards on a blunder, the reality is they still couldn't cover him.
No, so points on both sides, but at that time when all the panic should have went on and went for the 1, we definitely were robbed because back to the technology, we got to be able to throw flags. We got to be able to argue a point. We need to be able to call up to a commissioner for overviews. It was under 2 minutes. That should be a reviewable play that comes from up top.
It should be, but the reality is the up top felt that the Lions were trying to be deceptive, and therefore they got what they got. It backfired,
and that goes back to Goodell.
Well, that's not Goodell. If the rest of the league seen it and said, this the same league who get mad about the Eagles finding a way to work around their rules to push the quarterback when they said this is a bunch of BS.
Yeah, but I guess you don't subscribe to the. I guess I don't want to call it conspiracy, but to the idea that Goodell don't really like Detroit. So,
I don't know. I don't know if I agree with that or not. I can tell you this much. Okay. Goodell ain't directly calling no referees going, hey, shit on Detroit. I don't think that's happening. I believe that the referees are human. I believe that they made a mistake. I believe that the NFL don't want to get into a habit of changing things like this. And to be honest with you, they shouldn't. When they didn't change the results of a blatant pass interference against the Saints, when they didn't change the result of a blatant pass interference for the Kansas City Chiefs and so many other teams, then it ain't going to happen. And I get it. But at the end of the day, we have to be better and more prepared to, you know what, say it is Detroit versus everybody. We do got to take these people out of this game. I just find it funny that they're going to put it off on us, right?
Right.
But and say it's our fault, but then turn around and say that these guys can't call games in the postseason. Just why? They did nothing wrong, right? Shout out to my man, Coach DC. He says from all 22 fences, Luke, hope things are going great, man. Just wanted to stop in and say what's up and Happy New Year to you and everyone else. Hey, Happy New Year. If y'all have not seen my video I did with him where we talked about the Lions and a lot of different things like that, it is up. It is tagged in there. And if you ain't subscribed to him, you are missing the best content. It is tagged on this video as well. It will be his video is going to be a feature channel on my channel and tagged on my videos going forward anyway. So yeah, shout out to my man's coach over there who came through and man was lovely. And people really enjoyed that conversation and stuff. But yeah, I get what you're saying, Ed.
Hey, look, well, check this out. I'm gonna put out one more point, and I'm gonna let you get some of these other guys up in here because everybody got some news. It was maybe a couple weeks ago that we were trying to get here, and Goff was like, "Well, I don't really recognize all the years I wasn't here for the 30 years of losing trying to get here." Now that Goff got his real taste of what happens here with the Lions getting robbed, I only got to say, how does it feel? You are now indoctrinated in what the Lions go through. All right, man.
But hey, I appreciate it. But he's part of that problem too with them damn interceptions, you know. So I ain't mad at you. Let me get my man John. Appreciate Ed for coming through the building for me, man. And again, shout out to my man, all 22 fans. He says, thank you, I appreciate it. Not trying to step in Luke's stream and butt in. No, step in, brother. This is open forum. That's why that link is in there. That link is in there for you to hop in and give your opinion. So 100% for that. That's what it is. This Lions are going to get a rematch and make things right. I listen. I'm not so sure Dallas come out their first game. Everybody want to believe that since they put Jimmy in the ring that they exercised the curse. Okay, watch this. Dallas is gonna do what Dallas is do. John, you in the building? What up, though? Happy New Year, brother.
Before we even talk football, man, good to hear from you. Good to see you on. I hope you're doing better. Sorry you had to go through all that health bull crap and all that.
Man, kid germs, man. Kid germs. I'm telling you, if you got kids, man, I had to change their whole routine. They was already coming in the house and washing their hands. Now they got to come in the house. I got to we got to do a whole scrub down. I can't take it no more. These kid germs ain't no joke.
Just hit them with that bottle when they're walking, but like, hands up, let's go.
Yep. What you got for me, man?
Well, after that game, I wanted to make a video, but there are no words in the human language. Asian, Mexican, American, Australian. There were no words that I could think of without losing my mind for that game. Because it wasn't just the refs. It wasn't just Dan Campbell. It wasn't just Jared Goff. It was everything. Except, and maybe this is just me, and you know how I feel about what the Lions have done, but was it just me, or did the Lions defense really fucking show out? Holy crap.
Yeah, they performed really well. And I think that fans should be excited and proud of that team for doing that.
Holy crap. Defense showed up. Aiden Hutchinson, 3 sacks? Wow.
But see, to me, it's not even just the fact that they were sacks. It was the moment that they did the sack. Like, these were big moments
to put them back. It wasn't just like a sack and it's like, 2nd and 11. The one was what, 3rd and 22?
Yeah. And that's why for me, when I gave him my MVP, because I'm like, we need those plays, because while people want to sit here and keep shoving pressures down my throat, guess what shut down the play? The sack. That's what shut it down.
Now, what really would have shut this down was a lack of Jared Goff throwing 2-3 interceptions and Derek Barnes making the damn safety. Dude, you don't have to run 200 miles an hour. You were right there. Make the tackle. Make the tackle. You're up. And then the field goal that they decided to pass on the first one, and it would have made it 6-7, I think, going into the half or whatever that was. Dan Campbell decides to pass on that.
Yeah,
and just over aggressive. Take the points. You had the field goal the first time, would have made it 6-7.
I'm okay with it though, John. I'm okay with him. Listen, John, think about this, right? He takes the points, right? I'm not trying to be funny. Let's say he takes the points, right? Let's say he takes the points. That's 9, right? They still were in position to score touchdowns, the Cowboys. So while he's not taking the points, they had to still drive 90 and 80 yards. Like,
and you also had an interception that
that's the real problem.
He got, and they went 3 and out. Just
that's what I'm saying.
Out, no so that interception was for nothing.
No points on the turnover.
No points. I've said it years ago when I first started watching Dose and Dion, and I was given my keys to winning the game. You score a touchdown every quarter, and when you get a turnover, whether it's an interception or a fumble recovery, or hell, even the other team punts the ball, get points. Get some kind of points. I don't care if it's even a field goal. That's points that you took away from the other team on an interception. That's a possession that you weren't technically supposed to have. Get something.
Yeah, but on both of those plays, the interception and the fumble that they got, we had to still march 75 yards, right? And I get it. You want to take the points.
All 32 teams have to do that.
No, I get it, but you wanted the points. I'm not going to be mad at you for wanting to take the points. I'm just telling you I'm perfectly fine with him not taking the points because you get 4 downs to get it. I'm more disgusted at the play calling. And I'm sorry, Ben Johnson's play calling just, I don't know. The blocking, I'm disgusted at that. Jared Goff, I was disgusted at that.
That last interception, I mean, it was like they knew it was coming. The dude was just like, all right, zoop, let me dive and make this interception. It was like they knew.
And again, as John pointed out, he had 2 other chances to try to get their 2-point conversions, and I was okay with that. The one play, if he had more poise in the pocket, he had a receiver in the back of the end zone. But because they sent pressure, he just threw it and it went incomplete.
And I think it was the first attempt that J-Mo was right there on the inside when Hike and J-Mo went inside.
Correct. He
right
missed
there.
that.
All you had to do is Hike.
But he
boom.
had that, and he had the guy in the backfield, so he didn't have.
But granted, J-Mo isn't the first read, as they've said. Oh, yeah, I'm not looking at J-Mo because he's not my first read. Right there, J-Mo cuts in, Hike, throw ball, catch, wide open.
Listen, another one. Even on the last pass that he had, the tight end should have never had to go down and get it.
Oh yeah, the played Michaels or Mitchell, whatever that tight end's name is.
He should have never had to go down and get it. And so
why throw it? So there was another play where he was it to J-Mo? He threw it and it was like he was throwing it at his legs. It was earlier in the game. Or maybe third quarter, whatever. But he threw it and it was like a 9-yard pass, but it was at his feet. I'm like, Goff, you have to throw it. Yeah, not yeah.
Now I will say this. Overall, even though all that happened, I still stand here today telling you I am proud of what I saw from the Detroit Lions. I am there's no such thing as more victories.
The defense that I bitch and complain about that we need better players, better skill.
But the difference is they executed. They came prepared, minus the one blunder. They came to execute.
Oh, yeah.
And that's the thing. I will give Jared Goff this. That deep bum pass was spot on. It was a beautiful pass.
I can't believe J-Mo didn't get away from that guy. I was like, oh, he's got it. He'll break away. I'm like, oh, guy's too close. He's got him. Sure as shit, he got J-Mo.
And John Jones makes a good point. That probably would have been a touchdown if he make a better throw. But it was still enough for him for the ball to drop.
Well, I mean, a play's a play. Yeah, I mean, that was a 60-yard throw? Something like that. I mean, that was big chunky yards to get us where we were at. So
what else you got for me, John?
Go destroy Minnesota. Lock it up. Show the league what's up. You know, shut that purple podcast guy up because I am sick of his comments. But that's another discussion for another day for another video. Glad you're on. Glad you could be with us, man. Happy New Year. Be healthy. Be safe. I'll let other people jump in. Good to see you. I just want to give my 2 cents. Talk to you. Say Happy New Year and be healthy, my friend.
Hey, appreciate it. Happy New Year, man. I'm still coughing off of this damn flu. It sucks. But listen, this is the next thing I thought about too, because I'm going to just go ahead and call a spade a spade. I don't think the Lions should play their starters at the last game of the season, even though Dan Campbell has already said he's playing those starters. I don't think he should do it. That's just me. Now, in all fairness, sorry, this touchscreen thing is a headache. In all fairness, I look at it like this, okay? What are you playing for? And I'm not being funny. You can you play to tie the best record the Lions ever had in their history of 12 wins? Sure. But I'm really not finna play my starters this game. And if I do, it's 1 quarter. And then I'm putting in and seeing what Hendon Hooker can do. Because I'm not trying to be funny, but you're going against Nick Mullins. Like, seriously. You're going against Nick Mullins. Let's see what everybody else can do. I'm not playing the start of this game. If at all, 1 quarter. 1 quarter. Why? Because if you go out there and play these starters for this whole game, that's meaningless. You're not getting any better positioning. Let's say, for example, even if Dallas lose the game, they still own the tiebreaker with you, right? So you now need the Eagles to lose on top of Dallas. And if Eagles win, even if the Eagles win and they tie with Dallas, Dallas wins their division. Because the Eagles have imploded upon themselves. And the fact that Dan Campbell said, I'm going to play the starters, Dan, I don't know if I mean, you the coach. You know, but for what? Now, to be fair, he did say, when they asked him, he says, you know, are you going to rest your starters on Sunday? He said, yeah. So let me read the whole article as it stands, because I don't like to give y'all, you know, stuff without the context. It says the Lions don't have much to play for in Sunday's regular season final against the Vikings. Win or lose, Detroit will likely be the number 3 seed. And even if everything goes their way, they can only move up to number 2. But Lions coach said he won't rest his starters on Sunday. Yeah, that's the plan right now. Play our guys, Campbell said. We're asked if he plans to play the same starters the Lions put on the field every week. Our players will be ready to roll. I know they will. Campbell's attitude is that he wants his football team playing to win. If a key Lions starter suffers an injury against the Vikings and can't play in the playoffs, Campbell may regret it, but right now he's confident in his way of coaching. I'm not putting nobody out there. For what? For what? You've already broken one thing. You got the division. You get one more win, you tie the record. Woo! I believe you can get that win without your starters. I believe you can throw Hendon Hooker out there and get that win. Let Hendon Hooker get his first chance to see it, and then you can see what Hendon Hooker does. But what am I throwing him out there for? Seriously, I wouldn't throw them out there for nothing. Everybody finna get some love. If it was up to me. Now, I understand why he want to do it. Because maybe he don't want them to get rusty. Maybe he don't want them to get cold. Right? I get it. But I'm not playing my starters if it was me. I'm just not. If it was me, I'm not doing it. And that's what I would do. But the biggest thing that pissed me off about that 2-point conversion thing is that play is dead in the water now. And that play, that was a very good play that has been 100% wasted. There's nothing we can do to get it back. It's dead in the water. And John Jones, don't think I listen. I know Matt Patricia took a defense with all the talent in the world and made them worse. And y'all wonder why I wanted him fired the first year. But it take 3 years to build and change coaches, what I was told. Dan Campbell did it in 1, but whatever. Or as Coach tries to point out from all 22s, like he said, culture changed the moment I stepped in the room. Just putting it out there. Just saying. People, I know the Michigan and Alabama game is going on. I don't want to keep y'all too long, but I'm listening. I'm definitely gonna be live tomorrow. So because I'm feeling so much better. To all the people who gave me a congratulations on me bringing a new Cub into the Pride, thank you. Maybe it'll be here sometime this year. I'm gonna be excited for it. You know, I wanted to hit on these things because it's to nauseam. I like the fact that Aiden Hutchinson is like, I got to just beat him in the playoffs then. Cool. I like the fact that Dan Campbell said he's going to use this controversy and this BS as controlled fury. I like that. I like that. I'm happy with that. That's what you need. Because if it's one thing that's going to stand out is they're going to let it be known to y'all. Since y'all want to do it this way, we got something for y'all. To the people who was out there, you know, I heard a lot of people talking about they don't want to play the Rams first. What? They scared of Stafford. I love Stafford, but what? You know what? I got to go download that Russell Westbrook, man. What? Y'all strange. I got to download that. Because I'm not afraid of any team. I don't think there's no team that we should be worried about. Not one. Okay? So off rip, my take is put your backups in for the last game of the season, you'll still win. He said, keep going, we can watch. Excuse me. I ain't want nobody to miss the football game, man. You know, I ain't want to miss the football game. Jack Frost says, can we talk about Derek Burns being trash? He was trash on that one play, but realistically, he got better down the stretch, and it showed up. He made plays down the stretch. It's just that one play. The same way I believe that all of a sudden everybody went and turned their back on Jared Davis after he gave up a touchdown on a perfect pass to Ezekiel Elliott. I think people gonna do the same thing to Derek Burns. I don't think they should, but they're gonna do it. You know what I mean? So, but I keep trying to tell people, it's all bad. It's all bad, especially when you start to look at it from an objective standpoint. Now, Michigan scored a touchdown. For those who may not be able to watch it, it's on ESPN. Alabama scored a touchdown. As far as I'm concerned, tie games are 0-0. You know what I mean? But yeah, listen, this game to me, what it did for me directly was it showed me that the Lions are who I thought they were, but that the Lions, the flaws that they have are still going to be flaws, but it can be overcome if they perform better. And Aaron Glenn to me was never the problem. It's just the lack of talent and dogs there. People wasn't winning their one-on-ones. They kept giving one-on-ones to Aiden Hutchinson, and he was, you know, some of them he didn't win, but for the most part, he whooped up on them, which is funny because I believe he's got 5 sacks against the Cowboys alone in his career. He do good against them every time, which is strange. But this game, man, y'all should still be proud. I don't think I've ever been so happy in a loss. Y'all should be proud. Because here's what I know. I know that we really got 2-point conversion, and they took it from us. I know that a lot of Cowboy fans are frustrated. I know that a lot of them are. They're frustrated because they know how that game could have went. Right? And I'm telling you, whether you get the 2 seed or the 3, that game definitely did one game. It did mess up a lot of things because the Lions would have probably been in position to get the number 1 seed. But they would have needed help. They would have needed for the 49ers to lose more games. And that's possible. But I don't know if I'm there to the point where I'm just like, yo, this is a disappointment. Nope. Your team showed up and they played. The offense could have been better. But when they counted with 1 minute and 41 seconds and no timeout, good grief. 2-point conversion, they did that. And regardless of what they say in terms of the officials, we saw what happened. And guess what? I'm telling you what the NFL going to do. They're going to make sure that that's another rematch. That we got to go on the road in a playoff game to play them again. But here's the difference. You'll have Chauncey Gardner-Johnson Jr., Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, or what they call him, CD Deuce or whatever. I ain't got time for all these new names he keep coming up with. You'll have Aleem McNeil. You'll have James Houston. You'll have ways to create some things to go off in ways that you never thought. Oh, hands down, Jack Frost, you're right. Yeah. Now they ain't got to play their starters. But you're right. You're right. Had this how deep the implications go. If Detroit had won that game, they would have had secured at worst the number 2 seed in the NFC with another week. If Detroit had won that game in week 18 and San Francisco lost one game, they would have claimed the first seed. With Detroit losing, it is now expected that they can only be the 3rd seed. So, hey, it is what it is. Right? It is what it is. You can't get around it. I wouldn't play my damn starters, but I get it. We'll go 12-5, and we'll have a similar record of wins, 12 wins, just like we did in 1991, which is still the highest total wins that we've had in Lions history. We should have had 13. But again, when some things, are out of your control, they out of your control, which is why the things in your control, take full advantage of it. But I'd be damned if they're going to say that it's the Lions' fault. This is on the Lions. I'm going to let Rex Ryan talk a little bit more because I do want y'all to finish hearing what he said in case you missed it. In case you missed what he was saying about the call and how it's being viewed in the media. Let's let the man talk.
Where Dan Campbell failed is that he assumed that the official would have got it right. Why? Because he went over it specifically before the game. That's what you do. The officials come in, you go over every trick play scenario and all that stuff with the officials before the game.
So he actually tells the official, we have a play where we're throwing it to Decker and number 68, and he's going to report.
Yes, and there's a grease board, and you literally will draw the play up exactly how it is. I guarantee you, he drew up the fake punt as well. Okay, that the officials got right. And you know what? This is a huge mistake. But the thing that bothers me the most is that we're putting blame on the players. Stop. The players did everything right. So quit blaming. Quit covering somebody's butt.
Yeah,
and tell it the way it is. Be a man and take responsibility. It's BS. And this thing right here, it's just a game. Yeah, it's a game that may very well cost them the second seed, certainly, and possibly the first seed.
Yep.
And that is a huge difference having to play on the road instead of playing at home. And to me, it's and look, I love John Perry. To me, is one of the best officials of all time. Okay, we're lucky to have here. The guy's great. And in his eyes, he sees it a different way than I see it, and so be it. I'm telling you right now, as a football coach, I know exactly what the hell happened.
Let me ask you this. Why would 70 and Penei Sewell be up there right next to him? Wait, you said that's the plan. Why would that be the plan for all three of them to go up looking like somebody else's could be reporting, right? Why not just send 68?
That's what you do when you have when you bring an extra lineman in the game. One of them's going to be eligible.
No.
And that's why you come in there and you have those three guys. And that's what they say. Go report. I'm the guy. The only one that announced that he was eligible is 68, Taylor Decker.
Then why are the other two over there?
Because they come in. They don't need to announce it to the defense until the ball's getting snapped. Then they say who's eligible. You don't. This is just a common practice that you do. And the thing that drives me absolutely crazy is, and I get it, I think the guys, the referees is a human being. He made a mistake. All right, you're seeing a 6'9" guy.
Right
all right,
he's
a
right
big tackle, a 6'9" guy is right in front of you. All right, but you didn't notice his jersey number. You assumed it was 70, and when you assume, you make a you know what out of you and me, and that's exactly what happened. And unfortunately, and by the way, this game was over. They had one timeout, not 3 timeouts that was reported. They had 1 timeout left. There's no way, unless that Dallas they got a great kicker, but unless they have Gus the kicking mule, that game was over.
And John,
shout out to my man Rex Ryan. Rex Ryan been giving Detroit some love for a while. Shout out to my man Rex Ryan. He said, they got Gus the kicking mule, the game is over. And to all the people who didn't understand why he kept going for it, because he's trying to end the game. Now, again, I don't necessarily believe that the game was taken from us, per se, because they did have 23 seconds, and they did have that 1 timeout. They would have started at the 25-yard line, okay? And they needed 40 yards. And I believe they could have got the 40 yards. I just believe it. Maybe they needed 40, 45. Okay, I feel like it's 40. But I think they could have got it. Because for some reason, once they realized that you could just call slants, they were going to cook us the whole time with Cook and Lamb. You got to remember, you got a guy out there named Veldor who probably should not be on the field unless it's a special teams play. But we don't know if the field goal is going to be good. We don't know if the snap is going to be good, the hold going to be good, the kick going to be good. What we do know is the points were taken away, and they should not have been. And Alex Smith agrees that, they made a blunder. I'm going to let y'all hear Alex Smith talk because he has some cool things to say too.
John Perry sees that also as an illegal formation.
Well, just
Well, it is
based off
illegal
Brad Allen's
the lack of reporting. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Listen, I totally agree with you, Rex. He assumed it. They've been running 70 in all game. They've been doing this with an extra O lineman, and he's the one reporting, and they're setting this up. He ran out on that play. Obviously, this is the curveball to it, right? Like, this is the play they had set up the entire game for this moment, and they got it dialed up. And Brad Allen, as 70 trots on the field, assumes he's going to report again. He doesn't even see 68 in his face, runs over him, and we saw the entire mechanic. Clearly botched in this case, right?
How on edge are officials since the Kadarius Toney thing? Really, must they be? I mean,
They can be on edge as much as they want, but the reality is to the people who don't understand, don't even be upset. I'm going to tell you why. Don't be upset. Because I can tell you that the Dallas Cowboys, while they're happy that they won, they know that they snuck one out. They know that. And that time they come and play the Detroit Lions, they're going to come in with a different mindset. It's our job to hit them in the mouth. There's there's a scene in Batman versus Superman where Batman asks Superman before he leaves, tell me, do you bleed? And I love that scene because at another point in the movie, when he made him bleed, it was a shocker to not only Superman, but to everybody else, right? Why? Because everyone thought that Dallas was going to run the Lions to the ground. That they were going to light the Lions up, that they was going to be points on top of points on top of points. And the Lions defense made play after play after play. And the Lions offense didn't really do a lot of complimentary football. But we had time and we had possession. We had it all. And to the people who feel that we should have took the points, okay, he take all the points and we still lose. I can go through the Lions history and show you every game where the coach took the points and we still lost. You get 4 downs. You don't got to follow a script. Sometimes you just got to go with what the situation points to you to do. Check my Discord. As soon as we scored that last touchdown, I'm like, go for 2. That was my exact thought. Go for 2. Because at that point, I had already knew that I wanted to make sure that this game was over and done with. And the only way you do that is by putting the pressure on them. Here's a news flash for you, okay? If the Lions get that 2-point conversion, there's probably a good chance the game would be over because there's a lot of pressure on them to try to make plays to get into field goal range with 23 seconds. That ball got to come out hot on one of them 2 or 3 throws he's gonna get. Hot. But if you go out and you take the extra point and you tie the game up, there is no pressure on them at all. Because guess what? Even if they don't get the look that they want, they go into overtime. They want the overtime. And now you got to leave it up to a coin toss. A flip of a coin to see who gets the ball first to get a chance to score first and end the game. So I'm okay with the decision. I'm okay with it. But with 23 seconds and 1 timeout, and you need 40 yards, I think they could have got it. I think they could have got it. They would have threw, the first pass would have been about a 20-yard pass, 15 to 20-yard pass, probably something across the field. But overall, I think they could have got it. My only thing is the best thing that could have happened to this is for the Lions to feel like it's F you again. For them to now understand, people don't want to see you win. Shout out to Glover Quinn, who instantly went up and was like, yo, this is a bunch of BS. And asked the question, why do the people who have been the victim got to take the high road? Why? I'm sick of taking the high road. They in there tiptoeing around because they don't want to get fined for talking about the establishment. When that play was free, I was disappointed that Jared Goff didn't realize he had a free play. Because if he did, he would have did a whole lot more to get that ball delivered. He never knew that he had a free play when Parsons jumped off sides. That annoyed my soul. John Jones says on that kick, he would have squid kicked it. Then you would have lost. You would have lost. Because at that point, how far do you expect the squid kick to go? As soon as the first person buys, I will jump on it. Now, instead of me needing 40 yards, I need how many yards left? Now, if you mean kick it high in the air so he got to come out and wave a fair catch or run with it, that's cool, but they kick return is pretty decent. You kick that thing to the back of the end zone, they start at the 25-yard line, it give you time to get everybody ready, understand the situation. I like that plan a little bit better. But the squid kick, you're giving the game away. If they would have called a squid kick, you'd have heard me in here talking bad about Dan Campbell and the special teams guy. But you can't play for overtime. Not in this game. Not leaving them on the field anymore. You just can't do it. You play to win the game. You go out. You do what you got to do. You win the game and get it done. The clock don't run on a kick return until they catch the ball and start running. If you catch the ball and sit still and wave your hand, the clock don't move. So, you know what I'm saying? Now, if you square kick it and they pick it up and start running, you're right. But the clock don't start until they start actually running. And that probably takes off, 1, 2 seconds? Maybe 3. Let's say hypothetically took off 3 seconds. They get 20 seconds with a timeout, and you don't squib kicked it. So I don't know. I don't know if I would have did it. But I'm not killing you for it. I don't know if I would have did it. All right, let me see. Make sure I ain't forgetting nothing. Because I got more to cover tomorrow, too. Got some things I gotta address. Because we really gotta dive into what would it be really fully worth it to even play your starters against the Vikings. Maybe for a half, a quarter, maybe. Then the rest I put the backups in so we can finish it out. To the people who came in and rock with me, who stayed, subscribed to me, knowing that I had these downtimes and stuff, I appreciate you. I do. I appreciate. I hope that you got everything that you wanted in 2023, and if you didn't, I hope that you get it all in 2024 and beyond. To the people who left but still come in and ain't subscribed just yet, I appreciate you. To my new subscribers, I appreciate you. To the people who do the grunt work in this world that make it easier for everybody else, I appreciate you. My positive word is simple today, y'all. Whether you do something big or small, you did something. That little ripple effect that you caused from a drop in the water was felt. To the people who got to go out and make and work at McDonald's, and the people who work at the Walmarts, and the people who work at the Targets, the people who work for the city, the people who make sure that my plumbing goes where it's supposed to go, down the toilet and away from my house, I appreciate you. To the police officers, the nurses, the doctors, to the EMTs who always seem to get left out in this world, I appreciate you. I appreciate you. And if you didn't get what you were supposed to get in 2023, I hope 2024 is the year you get that and more. To the people who keep the electricity on, that come and clear the roads when it's snow out, to the people who help build the roads, the construction workers, the union workers, the skilled trade guys, to the people who make life so much easier for so many people that they will never know, I appreciate you. I plan on being live tomorrow because I want to make sure that not only do I keep this thing going, but I'm trying to get it a little bit more consistent. And every day I've been working harder and harder so I can get my freedom to do what I want to do. I want to start my own business and be my own boss and set my own hours and have real direct effect on people that I'm dealing with. And I'm working my butt off to do that. So to the people who drive the cabs, who drive the Lyfts, the Ubers, the people who go and get my DoorDash order, my Uber Eats order, to the people who work at the daycare, the caretakers, the ones who are taking care of sick kids and parents and brothers and sisters and aunts and uncles, to all of you beautiful people, I appreciate you. And I want to wish every single last one of you a happy new year. Now, y'all know my slogan, people. Don't be no chump. Please do your research. I'm out. I'll see y'all tomorrow, fellas and ladies.